Hi students, this is Julie. I said that I would make another short video to go through the steps of creating a pie chart, which we did in class today. So I've already gone ahead and entered in um, the data table that we had on the sheet in class. And so if you don't have this handout, you should ask me for it. And I just typed in this information. So I set up basically the exact same table that's on the sheet, same headings, same categories. So this is supposed to be data representing maybe like a survey or a poll that was done where people were asked what kind of pet they had. And so these are the responses of people who took the survey. So once I have all this information typed in, and I went ahead and I put borders around it and made it pretty looking, but I didn't have to do that. All I really need to do is just select this set of data, and I'm going to include the headings on the columns as well. And so what I'm going to do is click on the middle of cell A1, so the upper left hand part of this table. I'm going to highlight the entire thing, and then I'm just going to let go. Then what I'm going to do is create a chart that goes with this data. And so again, there's two ways that we can create charts. One way is to go up to the menu bar here and look for the chart icon. So if you don't see it, that means that it's going to be down in this little more category. So look for the button with 3 dots on it at the end of the menu bar. Click on that, and I'm going to choose the little icon that looks like a chart, and I'll click on Insert Chart. The other thing that I could do, I have my menus hidden right now, but I pulled this down. If I go up to the Insert menu, I can find the Insert Chart function on here as well, and I could click it from here. So I'm going to get rid of this, re-highlight my information, and insert a chart. Okay, now what it's done is it's gone ahead and created what it calls a column chart, just like a bar graph for this information, and that's not what I want. So what I am going to do is just grab the chart itself here, move it over a little bit, and over on the chart editor, I'm going to actually go back to the data section, and underneath that it says chart type, and so I can see right now it's at column chart. If I click on that, it will open up different types of charts and graphs that I can use. Notice up at the top here are some suggested chart types, and so what it does is it actually looks at the type of data that you've input, and it picks some different charts that match that type of data, which is kind of cool. Sometimes these are a little bit off, but oftentimes they'll suggest the right types of charts that you might want to use. So here's our pie chart, and notice this is actually a sort of a little preview of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to click on this pie chart, and I'm just going to double check some things on this screen here. So first of all, it says data range from A1 to B9, and if I double check up here, those are the 2 corners of our little table. It says the label is going to be the type of pet. So that's referring to these little labels over here on these lines that are pointing at each of the little pie pieces. That makes sense. The values, so the value means like what are the numbers that the pie slices are based on. That's the number of respondents, and that's what I want. I could switch these around if I needed to, if they were backwards, but this is set up in the correct way. And I'm just going to leave these boxes checked down below here. So then the next things I'm going to look at are in the Customize section. And this is where I can go up and I can do some things like under Chart Style, if I want to change the background color, pick a different color for the background. I can change the fonts. I can make this bigger. I don't really like that, so we'll get rid of it. I can make my pie chart 3-dimensional, like that. That's kind of cool. So that's all I'm going to change in that category. If I look at the next little section here, which is, it says pie chart, donut hole will take your pie chart and it'll literally put a hole in the center of it like if it were a donut. And it's just another kind of look that you might choose for your chart. So you can play with that if you want to. I'm going to make mine look just like a regular pie chart. Then I also have this slice label. And if I open that up, I can see there are a couple different options here. And one option is to label, like literally label the slices of the pies with the type of pet that the slice represents. I can also do the number of people who said they have that kind of pet, or I could do the percent, or I could do both. Now, some of these slices are really small. There's not a lot of room to put that kind of text in there. So I might just go with value. That one we're able to label most of these, and I think that looks okay. Again, I can change the fonts. I can change the font size. Might be able... I was thinking if I made those really small, maybe I could fit all of them in, but that didn't work. I can make the labels bold or italic. I can change their color. But I think that's all I'm going to do with that section. So I'll close that up. Next section down is chart and axis titles. And this is going to allow me to change basically the title of this pie chart. I don't really have a horizontal or vertical axis with a pie chart, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to change the title text. One way to do that is to click over here in the chart editor, and I could highlight that title text and type in new stuff. The other thing I can do is I can actually just go over to my chart, my graph, and I can double click on that title and I can change the title. So I'm going to say pet ownership survey. Okay, and I'll hit enter to make that kind of permanent. Okay. The other things I can do with my title then, I can make it bold, I can change the font, change the color, I can center it. So I can kind of do whatever I want with the title there. If I wanted to put in a subtitle, I could do that too. So I can have a chart subtitle. So lots of options. In the next section, series. This would be where if for some reason I decided that I didn't like this color scheme, I can change it. So say that I want the dog slice to be any other color. Say I want it to be pink instead of blue. I can change it to pink. So I can do all kinds of different things with the chart here. I'm going to leave that where it was, blue. So I can customize my little pie chart however I want there. And then the last thing that's here is a legend. So right now we have each slice labeled with the type of pet and the percentage of people who said they owned that type of pet. So looking at this, I might decide that maybe this is kind of cluttered looking or just kind of difficult to read, and a legend might be easier to understand. So under where it says position here, you can open up that menu, and labeled would be what I have right now. But I could also create like a little legend or key off to the right. I could do it to the left, I could put it at the bottom, the top. I kind of like bottom. So I'm going to do that. Again, I can change the font or the font size. I can make it bold. I can change the text color. I can do lots of things with the text there. Okay. So that kind of takes care of what I can do with my pie chart. Now I could take this pie chart and I could copy and paste it into another document. I could link it to another document. All kinds of things I can do here. One last thing I'll show you. So as far as in this workbook now, I have a number of tabs. And right now, basically, they're all just sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So if I wanted to be able to remember that this is the sheet where my pie chart is, just go down to that tab. I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to type in a new name. Pie chart. Hit enter. There we go. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. One of the things that you're going to need to do on your homework is to create a pie chart in Google Sheets. So if you need some help, this video should get you there, and hopefully it's a good reference for the future as well. All right, thank you. Have a good afternoon.